Thank you all for the chance to come here and talk a little bit about history, which I very much love doing. And today I get the chance to talk about Haiti a little bit more than usual. And thank you, Bernard, for inviting me to be part of the program. It's a very full program, so I'll try to keep things as short as possible, but give you a little bit more background on Haiti and its impact on world history. So the big question that I'm going to address today is, what is the most significant contribution of Haiti to the world? In other words, what makes Haiti stand out in world history? It's not a question that's asked often enough. And the nearsighted approach to world history, where sensational news often overwhelms historical perspective, the question is often who, what, and most often, how much should we give to Haiti? Such questions might be better phrased as, what should we give back to Haiti and why? Haiti has indeed made significant contributions to the world. High school and college world history classes typically focus only on firsts and often overlook Haiti's role as the second independent nation in the Western Hemisphere after the US separated from Great Britain, and long before the nations of Central and South America separated from Spain's orbit. Yet Haiti's biggest first, the full emancipation of slaves by force, is even more often left out of the histories of the world. Now, a few high school and college graduates, at least those who had teachers who went a little bit beyond the best of the rest and a little of the West in their approach to world history, might well be aware of Haiti's place as the second independent nation in the Western Hemisphere. Now, it's also worth noting that while the United States had assistance from England's imperial rivals, Spain and France, which both made significant contributions to the U.S. independence movement, Haiti had to fight an uphill battle not only against France, but against Great Britain and Spain, which both aimed to reinstitute slavery and annex the western half of Hispaniola and bring them into their own empires. But beyond proving that the nation could indeed become independent without the assistance of other major great powers, Haiti also started a worldwide shift, the beginning of the end of slavery. Which brings me another question for the audience and the general public to think about more broadly. Name one, or think of one, major abolitionist. Just off the top of your head, who comes to mind? Is it a Haitian? Oftentimes, the first foremost answer is not necessarily a Haitian. Indeed, though, if Haiti comes second in the U.S. in chronological order of independent nations, and its revolution and independence are of primary importance in the history of abolition. As in the words of the recent book that came out in history by Manisha Sinha, more than the American Revolution and its aftermath, the Haitian Revolution constituted a landmark in the history of abolition. Haitians moved the concept of citizenship for all races, the absolute and immediate abolition of slavery, and the offering of refuge to fleeing slaves as free soil forward more than any other nation in the Western Hemisphere, and did so earliest. The idea that all men were created equally and should be citizens to the same degree found its most vocal early proponent in Toussaint Louverture, an educated free black Haitian. He argued that race should be no barrier to citizen in France and its colonies. After losing his rhetorical appeals, he led a short-lived revolt. It ended with his capture, torture, and execution in 1791. His death signaled to the Haitians that the liberty, equality, and fraternity promised by the French Revolution was not all-inclusive. Haitians then would take it by force. During the 13-year struggle for Haitian independence, it also demonstrated a new and rapid model of abolitionism. At the time, even the most dedicated abolitionists in England, France, and the United States proposed a more gradual approach to the elimination of slavery. Haiti's revolution, which abruptly ended the institution of slavery on the island of Hispaniola, showed that full-fledged abolition in a very short amount of time was indeed possible. Haiti also pioneered the concept of free soil, territory in which any slave might find refuge and manumission regardless of national origin. Upon attaining independence in 1804, Haiti offered refuge to slaves. Though only a few were able to make good on this offer, the potential of escape to Haiti inspired many enslaved leaders of uprising and protest movements throughout the Atlantic world. In the years following the Haitian Revolution, only a minority elsewhere, abolitionists, saw Haiti in a positive light. Their accounts are underappreciated sources of inspiration from abolitionists in the parts of the world that retained slavery. Now, instead of crediting Haiti, France and the United States, at least in the 19th century, weren't especially appreciative of this movement's leap forward towards abolitionism. The United States did not extend diplomatic recognition to Haiti for over 50 years, and it did so during the presidency of Abraham Lincoln. Now, in return, during the Civil War, Haiti supported the U.S. blockade of the Confederacy when neither Spanish colonies nor British colonies in the Caribbean would actually do so. Haiti also found itself isolated during its early history in the Western Hemisphere as well. Despite the fact that Haiti extended aid and refuge to South American independence heroes Francisco Miranda and Simón Bolívar in 1806 for Miranda and 1816 for Bolívar, Bolívar actually excluded Haiti from the first meeting of the Hemisphere's independent nations, the 1826 Congress of Panama. Now, however, economically, France imposed the most damage on Haiti. France did recognize Haiti's independence earlier in 1825, but only in exchange for Haiti's concession to pay an independence debt to compensate former colonists for the slaves who had won their freedom in the Haitian Revolution. France insisted that Haiti pay its former colonizer 150 million gold francs. Haiti was still paying off this independence debt, paying back the descendants of these colonizers all the way to 1947, long after slavery had been abolished. Now, estimates for the amount that Haiti paid to France range as high as $40 billion when taking into account inflation. Finally then, in the face of such ingratitude for moving the cause of abolition forward, it might be good to take a moment to give Haiti credit as the first nation to clearly demonstrate the unsustainability of slavery in the face of slaves' desire to be free. Thank you.